and welcome to our nightly news. These are the headlines. President of the Republic Abdelmajid Tebboune addresses pilgrims ahead of the Hajj season as the first group departs from Algiers to Medina. Presiding over the annual meeting of senior officials of the PNA at the Central Directorate of the Military Installations in Algiers, Army General Saad Chingriha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the PNA, affirms the vital role of military equipment and infrastructure in supporting national development through major strategic projects. Algeria's pivotal role in driving and deepening continental economic integration was reaffirmed on Saturday at the Africa Investment and Trade Conference. Commitments reflected in Algeria's efforts to open markets and facilitate technology and know-how transfer across Africa. In France now, where the far right continues to exploit all means in a frantic pursuit of narrow electoral gain amid a backdrop of failed policies that are undermining the foundation of the Fifth Republic. Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's news. President of the Republic Abdelmajid Tebboune extended his prayers to Algerian pilgrims departing for the Hajj as the first group set off on Saturday. In a message shared on social media, he asked Allah to protect them, ease their journey, accept their rights and surround them with His mercy. The President also urged them to serve as honorable ambassadors of Algeria during the Hajj. The initial batch of Algerian pilgrims heading to the holy places for Hajj departed this Saturday indeed. The inaugural flight of Air Algérie took off from Algiers International Airport, bound for Medina. All necessary preparations were finalized to ensure the best possible conditions. In other news, Army General Saad Chingriha, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, chaired this Saturday at the Military Center for Engineering and Infrastructure Development in Algiers the annual meeting of the executives of the Central Directorate of Military Infrastructure. Brian reports.
At the beginning and after the welcoming ceremony, the Army General paid tribute to the late war veterans Major General Ahmed Sanhaji, after whom the center bears his name. He laid a wreath at the commemorative stele and recited the Fatiha in memory of his soul and the souls of the valiant martyrs. Afterwards, in the presence of the Secretary General of the Ministry of National Defense, the Commander of the 1st Military Region, heads of departments, the Inspector General of the Army, and central directors from the General Staff of the People's National Army and the Ministry of National Defense, the Army General inaugurated the technical building of the Military Engineering and Facilities Development Center. He watched presentations that included a summary of activities included in the 2024-2025 mobilization plan, in addition to displays of technical equipment and plant projects. The Army General then toured the various departments of the Military Engineering and Facilities Development Center, then supervised the inauguration of a new museum at this unit, highlighting the origins and development of the Military Facilities Corps and its significant contributions to the construction of numerous vital facilities in the country. On this occasion, the Army General in his introductory speech, which was followed via video conference by executives of the Central Directorate of Military Installations across the 6 military regions, highlighted the prominent role played by this directorate since its establishment. He highlighted its effective contribution to the implementation of vital national projects for the country, as well as the role in laying the solid foundations for the professional national army in the field of military installation. He emphasized that the Military Installations Corps, whose first pillar dates back to the days of the glorious Liberation Revolution, played a major role at that time, and after independence contributed significantly to eliminate the effects of colonialism. He also effectively participated in construction and reconstruction efforts through its active presence in major projects of an economic and social nature, such as the Trans-Saharan Highway, industrial complexes, educational institutions, hospitals, and hundreds of agricultural villages spread across the country. He added that these efforts are paralleled by the primary mission of this corps, which is to build solid foundations for our National People's Army by developing the infrastructure of our armed forces, a mission that the members of this corps have succeeded in carrying out with complete dedication, sincerity, and discipline.
And with the presence of several ministers, the African Investment and Trade Forum kicked off today, bringing together leaders and investors to boost economic cooperation across the continent.
In Algiers, and under the slogan of African integration and prosperity, the African Investment and Trade Forum comes today in its 11th edition, bringing together more than 8,000 economic operators and representatives from 43 countries across Africa. And it's being held in the presence of several ministers and with the participation of specialized institutions, investors and businessmen. These activities elevate the rate of cooperation opportunities for the operators who seek new markets and also enable public-private partnerships. We are here promoting Uganda's known products as coffee and tea and honey. Our participation is very important in this continental forum where we are seeking investment opportunities and to take part in international markets. The African integration and prosperity is the motto of this forum that inspires cohesion, development and unification of efforts towards the African Union's development goals for 2063 vision. Given the vast natural and human resources across the African countries, activating trade exchanges and exploring investment opportunities in key sectors is essential for achieving the shared objectives of Africa's Agenda 2063. Through the program of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Algerian state sought to ensure a stable, transparent and stimulating economic and political environment. Our country has made infrastructure development a strategic priority in its development path, believing that it's not only a necessity but also a sovereign lever to promote the national unity, regional openness and connect African peoples and markets to each other. Algeria today offers a more attractive and competitive environment supported by its exceptional assets as a strategic location linking Africa, Europe and the Mediterranean. And as a mechanism for boosting economic mobility across the continent, the ZLECAf serves as both a model and a driving force for Africa's economic dynamism.
And the political situation in Mali is worsening as massive demonstrations are shaking the country, and the ruling coup group is resorting to violence while continuing to suppress fundamental freedoms and rights. Najataya reports on the situation.
Mali's junta tightens control as Goita's self-declared president cracks down on protests and restricts remaining democratic freedoms.
No to this generation of 91 who have gone so far as to collaborate with the terrorists to further oppress the Malian people. We say no to that. Clearly, there's a serious threat to the individual and collective freedoms of Malians, and I think that's a shame, as they are just managing to instrumentalize the people against each other and the forces of law and order. Although that's something else, that's what Democrats are looking for.
Under the pretext of preserving public security, Mali's military junta suspended the political parties and associations by presidential decree, an authoritarian move that contradicts the democratic aspirations of the Malian people.
Today we're faced with a situation where freedom of expression, freedom of opinion and freedom of demonstration are at stake. You have to let opinion express itself in order to kickstart the country's development, because there are other things, other situations that really need to be resolved than suspending the political parties that is necessary for good governance.
Goita faces rising pressure as protests grow against his self-appointment and refusal to set elections date that is seen as a tactic to block a return to constitutional rule and extend the military power.
And Morocco is witnessing a rapid pace in its normalization process, with the Zionist entity moving beyond diplomatic ties that affect national sovereignty. This situation raises serious questions about the future of citizens and the independence of political decision-making. Wanya al-Bahri.
In a shameful continuation of its policies of weakness and dependence, the Makhzen regime keeps bowing to the Zionist entity, allowing it to take control of the Moroccan people's resources. Now it's making this normalization deeper by signing a maritime trade deal that includes transport and recognition of sea documents, another painful step in a long line of betrayal that the Moroccan people face day after day. This man strongly rejects the forms of normalization and those who support it, saying that more than 116 Moroccan companies are working with Zionist partners. For him, this is both a scandal and a disaster. At the same time, poor people are suffering more and more. Homes are being destroyed, families are being kicked out, shops are being closed, and people are losing their only source of income. In a scene after scene, families are left in the streets with nothing left from all their years of hard work.
We have nothing. We've reached the point of poverty and hunger. We are below the poverty line. There are 7 shops and each one supports 7 families. All of them have been kicked out. Where are they supposed to go?
While all this destruction is happening, the Moroccan people are left alone and hopeless, surrounded by the rubble of their destroyed homes and the pain of toxic agreements. They see a regime more focused on pleasing outsiders than protecting its own people.
Updates now on the situation in the occupied Palestinian territories, where at least 6 Palestinians were martyred and several others injured after Zionist occupation forces bombed a tent sheltering displaced civilians in the Sabra neighborhood. And large-scale destruction of homes and property continue in Shujaiya, Zaytun and Tufah east of Gaza City. Meanwhile, the UN Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination warns that the collapse of basic services, including water and electricity, along with severe food shortages, puts civilians at risk of starvation, disease and death. That was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.